Well, well, well. Story time. Once upon a time ago, there was an old, bitter comic head named O.G. Rich. And he was mulling about, just living his life, complaining about everything, why comics ain't doing what they supposed to do, why people ain't buying comic books, why people always tripping, just being an old grumpy man. One night, he was just relaxing at home, reading a static comic book, and he drifts off to sleep, only to be startled by a ghost. The ghost of comic book Black Pill comes to him and says, "Oh, gee, man, we got to have a conversation." OG's like, "What? You've been complaining about Milestone. We need to have a conversation." He says, "Better yet, instead of me having a conversation with you, I'm going to send to you three ghosts. Yes, the ghost of Milestone past, the ghost of Milestone present, and the ghost of Milestone future are going to visit you tonight. And hopefully you'll learn something when it's all said and done." Shortly thereafter, he shakes his head and thinks he's just, maybe it was the pizza he ate. He doesn't know. He drifts back to sleep, only to be startled again. And the ghost comes through the door, dressed in 90s gear, talking about, "Oh, gee, I am the ghost of Milestone past. Let's take a walk down memory lane." So he touches him, and all of a sudden he's back at 1993. Sure enough, there it is in the comic shop. Static, Hardware, Blood Syndicate, Hardware, Static, Blood Syndicate, Icon. All wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Sight to behold. So many people grabbing Milestone comic books off the shelf. Week after week after week. Oh, it was a glorious time. Oh, you couldn't tell Black comic heads nothing because Milestone had arrived. It was a beautiful time. It was beautiful. It was beautiful until it wasn't. And he just sits there in the comic shop, reminiscing, talking about the way it used to be. He turns to the ghost and he said, "Oh, those were the good old days." Yes, those were the good old days. Shortly thereafter, a few years down the line, the ghost takes him to 1997, when things start to kind of slow down for Milestone. The comic bust was all in full effect. Milestone titles were even being canceled for weak sales. Yeah, it was all good until it wasn't. OG shakes his head and he's like, "Spirit, take me home." Sure enough, he touches him and he's back in his basement. He picks up another book, tries to read it, drifts off to sleep again, only to be startled by the ghost of Milestone present. Here he goes to a shop and he picks up a book. It's Static. Static is back. But instead of wisecracking Virgil, he gets this moody little Uzi Vert lookalike in dreadlocks or whatever. It wasn't his Virgil Hawkins. And what's this Black Lives Matter junk? Is this what we doing? OG begins to complain again. But hey, at least they're trying, right? And so he's looking around and He sees that Milestone is trying to come back, but there's lawsuits, there's all kind of things. The same people are not in place, and it just seems to be just it's just hard to get started again. And they finally get it off the ground. And it looks like it's going to be something, but it still doesn't measure up to where it used to be. This is the present Milestone. Oh, man. He turns to the spirit of Milestone present. He says, will it get any better? And the ghost says to him, I don't know. Everything's got to play out, right? Yes, OG says. It has to play out. I just want my old Milestone back. That's what OG tells the ghost. But the ghost of Milestone present tells him, that's the part of the old days, OG Rich. They the old days. It ain't like that no more. You got to embrace the present. You got to. OG says, man, I don't like what I'm looking at. Well, I wish I could tell you something better, bruh. But my time is up. It's time for you to go back home. You got one more ghost to see. He touches him, and OG's back in his basement. He picks up another book. He gets 2 or 3 pages in, and he drifts off to sleep again, only to be startled. He looks up and sees the ghost of Milestone future. The year is 2035. No one remembers Milestone. All he sees is new creators talking about how they are the ones that are the future. People don't remember who Dwayne McDuffie is. And while they like to champion Dennis Cowan, they say things like he was good for his time, but not right now. And now Milestone is a shell of its former self, seeking to still remain relevant in the hearts and minds of comic heads. Static 45, the Mobius cover, used to go for $300-400. And I saw it for $9.99 on eBay. How did we get here? How did we get here, y'all? The OG looks at the ghost of the future and he says, this is what we got to look forward to? Is this it? Is this what Dwayne McDuffie, Doc Bright, Dennis Cowan, Michael Davis, Derek Dingle, Ivan Velez, Chris Cross sacrificed for? Is this it? The Milestone ghost won't say nothing else. In fact, he just looks at him, turns away from him, and walks away. The OG says, hey, you gotta take me back home, bro. He turns to him and says, you are home. You just need to wake up. It is what it is, y'all. Let's go, Derek. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Rich. Real Talk with Rich is back in the building. One more again. It's your boy. Hope everybody had a wonderful Sunday. Good to see y'all here, man. We had some technical difficulties. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my computer. But those of you who have joined us, thank you for coming. Want to say what's up to the chat. Want to say shout out to the Black Comic Lords, Black Superheroes Forever fam. What up, what up, what up? Salute to each and every one of y'all. And again, like as I said, I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. We're getting ready to get the week started. So we don't want to belabor the time or the point. Y'all saw the thumbnail. So let's go on and have a conversation. Let's go on and talk about the leak. So a lot of people have speculated as to what happened. If you've been under a rock, you know that there's a book coming out this Wednesday, the DC book, The Dakota Incident. And that book was unfortunately leaked. There are some who say that it was leaked on purpose. There are some who say that it was just an accident. I don't know what to believe, to be honest with you. I would like to think DC wouldn't want to sabotage Milestone for whatever reason. I know that there is still a 100K campaign still going on. And I want you guys to support the campaign. We want to sell 100,000 books. Nobody's begging. I know some people out here using that word, y'all begging. We're not begging for anything. And we're not begging DC. We're asking the consumers. We're asking the comic heads. We're asking the general public that loves comics, the ones that love and care about Milestone as a franchise, to go out and not only buy just one book, but buy a few copies of it. Get the different variants. We want to sell 100K. So if nothing else, that gives us some kind of leverage, and it gives us some kind of strength to speak from and say, hey, we got people out here that will support a static run. That's the whole point of wanting to sell 100K. I don't know if it was done to discourage that or not. I am a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes the dollar bill is just a dollar bill. And I don't know if it's in this situation or not, but what I will say is, don't let the leak distract you from the idea or the fact that you can make a difference by going to the shop and voting with your dollars. Now, I am traditionally black pill when it comes to this stuff, meaning that, I don't care enough because these companies are going to do what they do. But because I care about Milestone and I have love for Milestone, and I want to see Milestone prosper and flourish, two things have to happen. One, I can't rely on the glory days. The past is the past. And I still maintain that everybody's still catching up to Milestone 1.0. But that's the old days, the good old days is the good old days. We got to work with what we got, and that's now. So I gotta embrace the future. I gotta embrace the present. I got long boxes. I can go dig in my long boxes and grab Milestone comic books all day. I'm not wrestling or struggling with the fact that I don't have Milestone comic books to read. I got several hundred Milestone comics in my collection. So I want Derek to show this picture. This is what I was doing this past weekend. I was moving my collection. I don't know if you can make it bigger or not. Yeah. I was moving my collection to a new house that I will be occupying soon. I don't want to tell all my business, but I have a collection that is, I would say, a conservative amount. I know guys that have huge, huge collections. I have a small collection. Some people look at that and say, that's a lot of books, and it is. But I know guys that have a ton more books. Paul probably has about 3-4 sides of these. Suffice to say that that is approximately almost 150 short boxes full of comics. And a lot of those comics, a lot of those short boxes have Milestone books in them. So I have no shortage of books that I can go as far as Milestone books to read. I don't have that issue. It's the guy that don't have nothing in their collection that got the issue. I don't have the issue. I'm not begging for representation or whatever. I already have it. As an OG, I already have it. I have the Milestone books from 1.0. I have the Milestone books, the 2.0. I have the two, both seasons of season 1 and season 2 of Static, Blood Syndicate, and Hardware, and Icon and Rocket. So I'm not tripping either way. But I will say that because I want Milestone to still be here and still be relevant, I have to play a part in that. I want to support Joe Illich and Milestone Media. Do I have love for DC Comics at this point in juncture? I have a love-hate relationship with DC and Marvel. I don't love DC like that. But DC happens to be the home of my favorite character, Black Lightning. Now I can walk away and go try to claim something else or whatever, but you're asking me to walk away from 1977 April when I was a young kid, nearly 9 years old, going into a convenience store and seeing Black Lightning #1 on the shelf. You're asking me to walk away from that. For what? For your comic book? Because a lot of people talking strong out here today. Some of y'all out here talking real strong and real bad about Milestone. As if that's not the gold standard. As if Dwayne McDuffie's writing isn't John Blaze. As if M.D. Bright, Chris Cross, and Dennis Cowan are not superior artists in their own right. As if they didn't give you guys a standard to look up to aspire to. I've been seeing stuff on the internet that has really been disturbing to me. But I'm going to just simply say this. Feel how you feel when it comes to Milestone. Think what you think. But what you cannot do is erase history. It's Black History Month. And to have Bammers talk bad about Milestone, a company who is Black history, several individuals who have done nothing but make history. Y'all sound crazy. Y'all really do. Now, as far as the league goes, I don't care. I'm not mad. Things happen for a reason. But see, some of y'all are going to look at this reason as the reason why you should not go buy the book. You just think, well, what's the use of going to buy the book? No, you need to double down and go get a few copies of the book. Y'all treating this like it's some kind of mixtape or something. That's what rappers would do. They would leak their own music. You're trying to say that Milestone leaked their own book? So what, the sales won't be there? Come on, y'all. That what we doing? No. No. I don't care if they did if they leaked it on purpose. That's not supposed to stop you from doing your part, especially if you're a Milestone fan. Do what you're supposed to do. Support the brand. I'm not here to wrestle with anybody talking about Milestone. DC owns Milestone. They might. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not getting a check from Milestone. I'm not getting a check from DC. But I am invested in Milestone as a brand because of the books and the stories and the art that they've given us over the years. I want to be a supporter, not a discourager. But I'm seeing a lot of discouraging stuff on the internet. It has been a blood sport. And I'm looking at some of this and I'm asking myself, do y'all really care about these books? Do y'all really care about Milestone? Do y'all really care about independence? Because trust and believe, the people that have been running their mouth about Milestone, they wish they had the reach Milestone has. The irony of all of this is that people have been wanting Milestone to say something and Milestone has been mute. You know why? Because Milestone doesn't have to. Because their record speaks for itself. Now, has it been not the best? Absolutely. I can stand in that line and say, yeah, it could be a lot better. But I have something to do with that. I have to be like, you know what, Joe, you write this book? All right, I'm going to support it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy a few copies of it. That's what I'm going to do. Derek, put my other picture up on my wall. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Put that up. Show them that. Now that right there was a picture I took of all those books that you see are Milestone books. Milestone 1.0. All right? Different titles. Blood Syndicate, Static, Hardware, Holocaust. Yeah. Some of us really believe in what we're saying. Okay? We don't just talk it. We buy the books. Shout out to Bo B with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And, you know, again, you know, and here's the thing. I know that there are solutions and strategies that Milestone can apply to in this situation. And that where Milestone is as a company and its brand could be a lot better. Their positioning could be a lot better. I know that. But I'm not privy to the inner works of what goes on at Milestone Media. I'm a fan. So my approach to this is as a fan. Milestone book on the shelf, I'm going to buy it. Pre-order it. Get some variants. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Now, that's if you are somebody that votes with your dollars. But if you're just somebody that's running your mouth and you ain't buying nothing, and you know you ain't buying nothing, you need to go somewhere and sit down. Go argue in some other group. But I believe that we should support the book. So what the book leaked? So what? Don't matter. Still go buy the book. Still go buy it. I know folks that said that they've already read the book. Some people say they like it, some people say they don't. I don't even care. Don't care. I'm still buy it. It's Milestone. But guess what? I'm going to buy the independent books too. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. Why we can't chew gum at the same time? Chew gum and walk at the same time. What's wrong with us? Some people think that, you know, I mean, one of the biggest issues that's been on, you know, in I guess the algorithm lately has been people buying books. Some of us are not buying books. That ain't no secret. That's been the case. That was the case when Milestone was around. That's that ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Now, I can say all kind of things like, I wish they would do this. I wish they would do that. They should have did this. They should have did that. They probably should have. But it doesn't matter. I have a responsibility as a Black comic head and someone who loves Milestone to continue to support Milestone. Now, I know that some people out here thinking that, well, why y'all talking about Milestone? Why don't y'all have that same energy for independence? We do. Can we stop this? But some of y'all be feeling yourself too much. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If I thought your writing was John Blaze like Dwayne McDuffie, I'd talk about you. I would recommend your book. And I'm talking about the writing aspect, not the art aspect. Yeah, it looked good. Yeah, it looked good. But the question is, do it make you think? Do it give you perspective? Sean James did a video recently about some cats were trying to say that Dwayne McDuffie was a sellout because he wrote a story. He wrote the Icon book. And some people just want their way and they just want their stuff their way and nothing else. Because some people think that Icon's a sellout because he's a conservative, whatever. You know what? I'm just glad that we got a book with that perspective in it. But y'all calling Dwayne McDuffie a coon or a sellout because he wrote a perspective that you don't share? Please. Where are the thinking blurs? Where are the critical thinking blurs at? Not you woke niggas that just got up one day inside you want activism all in your comic books. I mean, you guys kill me. You don't buy books, but you got a lot of, you run your mouths. And it's like, man, but this is what's on the internet. This is what's on the internet. People just don't know what they have the time, what they be talking about. And it's okay. You have a voice. You want to say it. If you want to say the most ridiculous thing ever because it gets you more clicks and likes, have at it. That's what the internet has come to. I just don't understand. I mean, comics are supposed to be a medium to help you think about life and things and perspective. And those of us who have the Black experience, how layered that perspective should be. Not in just one lens. I mean, come on, y'all. It's I'm looking at this and I'm asking myself, do we really want Milestone to fail? Because I think some of y'all do. I think some people want Milestone to fail. I think some of y'all want Milestone to fail so we can just stop talking about it. And if that's your perspective, hey, it's okay. It's all right. Now, I get the frustration some people have in terms of, it's always something. Why they can't do this? Why they can't do? I get that. I get it. I understand it, but I'm not trying to see nobody fail. Especially Milestone. And some people they want that love that Milestone gets. I get it. I get it. Some of you creators out there, you want people to talk about your books, your brand, like they talk about Milestone. I get it. Some of you, what's funny to me is some of y'all think y'all just as good as Milestone. Okay. If you say so, if you say so, trust and believe me. Me liking Milestone is not stopping me from buying your comic book. It's not. If your stuff is fire, I'm gonna talk about it. Now, here's the thing with me, and I'm just being honest. Just like Milestone had to find its way into my life, your stuff has to find its way into my life as well. Meaning that, you know what I'm saying, you may have to send me a book. Be like, Rich, I want you to check out my book. Tell me what you think about it. I don't get them books. I mean, Paul might get them emails. I don't get them emails. I don't get them direct messages. Every now and then somebody will send me something or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I don't be disappointed because I think people know that if you send me something or whatever, it better be hot. Because I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to big it up if it is. But anybody that has sent me a book, they sent me that book knowing in confidence that he going to like this. And it has not failed. I haven't got a book from somebody that, that book was whack. I generally have to spend my money to find something whack. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And again, I'm not just trying to pour salt on a wound when it comes to this kind of thing, because I know some people are salty behind this kind of stuff. Paul says it like this: Milestone paid the way for many of the Black Indians to exist today. Do not recognize that fact or not to wish to have your support is crazy to me. It is. Y'all. It goes to the ghost of Milestone 1.0. Milestone 1.0 was amazing. Amazing. It was amazing. That run, those 3-4 years from 93 to like 96, amazing. A lot of creators would kill to have a 3-year run like that, where a comic book is, to be able to offer people a comic book every week of the month. And people say, well, why did they go to DC? DC had the bread. DC had the machine to be able to pull it off. See, it's one thing to okay, you know what? I don't trust the machine. Okay, well, stay back, stay where you are, offer a Kickstarter, hope somebody, supports it and offer us a comic book once or twice a year. You can't tell me if most of you guys out there had a comic book that you thought was amazing and Marvel or DC offered you distribution, you were going to retain the rights to your characters. All you was going to do is use their money. Because this is what record labels do with rappers. I'm going to just use the machine. They use the machine. Now, some people say, well, but they should have did this or they should have did that. Could have got drowned, saving should have. It don't matter. At this point, is DC holding Milestone back? I do not know. I wish that they would do better by Milestone, but you got to understand, Dwayne McDuffie was fighting with DC the whole time, fighting to use certain things in comic books. Everybody remembers the Static 25 issue. That was a big stink. A big stink, bro. He was constantly having to fight with them. It ain't like he was just laying down and just taking it. No. DC wasn't cool with everything that they were doing because DC was thinking about their brand. They weren't thinking about their audience. They weren't thinking about Milestone's audience. They know who Milestone's audience was. They took a chance. These guys happen to be seasoned veterans in the game. Talking about Dennis Cowan, and Dwayne McDuffie, along with Christopher Priest and others. And it made money. I mean, look, everybody, there's enough books, there's enough websites, there's enough videos for everybody to go and look and research Milestone and that magical run. But a lot of people are living in that shadow of Milestone 1.0. I said a long time ago that everybody's still trying to catch up to Milestone. And the truth is the truth. But there are creators now who have got the umption to say that, you know what I'm saying? It's time to turn the page. It's about us. Our books are just as good. Okay. All right. All right. If you say so. I just love when people say that, y'all don't support this, y'all don't support that. Yeah, we got a ton of books that we, God bless Paul. That's my brother. He lines up these interviews, does these interviews with the creators. He really loves I'm gonna tell you something. People behind the scenes, people might say that I am one of the sparks of BCL. The heart of BCL is Paul White Davis. I'm gonna give my brother his love and his flowers. The heart of Black comic lords is not OG Rich. It's Paul Davis. Because OG Rich simply calls a strike down the middle. That's it. And I get in trouble. For some of my takes. Y'all don't hear what a Rich really want to say. I need an uncut show. Y'all don't really want. I play with the term black pill, and I'm facetious with it because I really don't necessarily think that way, but I do consider that way. And the reason why I consider that way is because I understand that these companies, these corporations do what they do based on their dollars, on their agenda. I ask myself, how do I handle that? And see, listen, I tell people, I'm not the guy that you market your books to. I understand that. That's the one thing about me that I understand. Being 58 years old, I'm probably not the guy you trying to market your book to. Nobody talks to me. Let me tell you, I talk to y'all, but nobody talks to me. Y'all don't want the truth. I'll drown you in truth tonight. No one's calling me and say, "Hey, Rich, I want you to read this book. I want you to tell me what you think." Nobody's doing that because you don't really want the truth about how I feel about it. Because I'm somebody that's been reading comic books since I was 9 years old. And your 22-page book that only got 50 words in it and some cool art is not going to sway my opinion one way or the other. Do you really want the truth? Instead of dissing Milestone, y'all should be uplifting Milestone. You should hope and pray to have a resume and to have a story and an acumen and a craft like Dwayne McDuffie and a pen like Dennis County. You can sell wolf tickets to somebody else. That ghost, that shadow, that's Milestone looms heavy for a reason. It's not there to curse you. It's not there to hurt you. It's there to show you how to go up, how to ascend, how to go up higher. You can have the best marketing in the world. You can sell water to a whale. Anybody knows hip hop knows that the best MCs don't make the most money. Everything that's big, looks big or whatever, ain't necessarily big. And you can feel about it all how you want. I don't care. Because no one's talked to me. No one has a conversation. That's the thing about being that's the thing about being an OG. People love you, but they don't really want to talk to you. They don't really want your wisdom. They'll get off on you running your mouth, being an old head or whatever, being a grumpy old man. Sometimes I am. I don't apologize for it. And you know why? It's because I've read too many doggone comic books to let you snow me out of $20 when I know you could do better, much better. And I love you enough to tell you the truth because I ain't scared of you. I know that my $10 don't make or break your company. But I know that when you are being disrespectful to what got you here is a problem. I know it's a ghost. I know some people wanted to go away. I got too many comic books. I can't walk away. I can't walk away from. Where am I going to walk to? Where am I walk to? I buy comic books. I buy independents. I buy mainstream. I buy it all. See, you can tell anybody that's got a problem with what I'm saying, one thing you can't say about Rich, he ain't got books. He don't buy. I go broke constantly buying comic books. Look at their collection. I need you to look at it. That's 30, 40 years of collecting. Short boxes. You know what's in them short boxes? Godhood comics is in them short boxes. Concrete comics is in that short boxes. Milestone comic books are in them short boxes. Anaya Publishing comic books are in them short boxes. Your books are in those short boxes. Because I buy, I don't just talk. And as much as Paul pleads with y'all, please pre-order, please pre-order, please pre-order. Help the creators, help the creators, help us help you with the creators. All of this stuff. Man, I get frustrated. I get frustrated, man. It breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart half the time. What's going on, Tron World? Thank you for the super chat. You know, and to your point, Tron World, you know, every company, every entity has its warts. I don't think we can escape that. You know what I'm saying? Milestone's not perfect, not by not no stretch of the imagination. I understand that positive. I understand that. I just know that these guys did some books that had my children in mind. They had me in mind when they did those books. See, George Perez wasn't thinking about a black, big-nosed, dark Negro when he was doing Wonder Woman. He wasn't thinking about me. He wasn't. But Dennis Cowan Reginald Hudlin, Christopher Priest, Derek Dingle, Michael Davis did. They were thinking about me. They were thinking about your kids. And and again, like I say, I know they're not perfect. I got hella issues with Milestone. I do. But I'm not going to do a hit piece or do a show dedicated to running them down. I'm going to lift them up. Especially when I know that they need to be lifted up. Especially when I know that cats like Joe Illich, is pouring his heart out. Trying to get support. Fighting what looks like a losing battle. Fighting for Milestone to exist. And to see people on the internet be disrespectful. If age don't afford you nothing, it gives you the perspective to understand your place in this whole big, wide cosmos. Let me tell you something. People grow up thinking that they know everything. By the time you turn 20, 22, 23 years old, you think you know everything. And you think that the people that brought you here don't know nothing. This is what you think of your own parents. You don't think your parents know nothing. They got you here, but they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about the world. They don't know what's going on, but they got you here. But you got the unmitigated gall to think that they don't know nothing. Now, if you do that with your own flesh and blood, I know a nigga like myself don't matter to you. Because you think I don't know nothing. But keep living. You get to your 30s and you really start to see what's really going on. By the time you hit 40, you're like, damn. And then you get to your 50s and you start experiencing loss. Because when you're in your 20s, you think you're going to live forever. You start seeing some of your friends go. By the time you get out of here and think that you really learned something, it's time to go. I mean, as comic heads, we should be smarter. We should be smarter. We should be a little bit more reserved in our judgment, reserved in how we treat one another. But I've saw so much disrespect on the internet this past week from multiple, and when I say multiple, I'm talking about more than one, more than two. I'm talking about a handful of people. And it's like, wow. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. I don't have the answers. I don't. I just try to show up and be a positive, motivating force in the world by the help of my God. That's what I try to do. That's all I try to do. Maybe I don't know nothing. Maybe you shouldn't listen to me. Maybe you should listen to somebody else. Maybe you should just listen to your own counsel. You know? Either way, all I know is that tearing down Milestone ain't the answer. That is not the lick. Not in 2026. All of this is happening during Black History Month. Let me just go ahead and just drop Thor's hammer on that right for a second. All of this confusion, all this drama happening at a time when you're supposed to be celebrating who you are, your writers, your creators, your artists, your beliefs, your thoughts in terms of the struggle. All of this, you don't think this is happening by osmosis? You think this is? Yeah. Happy Black History Month. Man, I'd be afraid for some. I'd be afraid for some people because one thing I know about life is that life is long. It ain't short. It's long, and you may be up today, but if you hang around long enough, you will find a bottom somewhere. What kind of stories are we trying to tell? See, I'm not impressed with the guy who writes the story about the badass. I want nuance. I want characters to be multi-layered. I want them to deal with the real world, but at the same time be fantastical. I want what Milestone gave me. And maybe maybe I have outgrown this community. I'm actually open into that. I'm actually open to that reality. That this is just not for me anymore. That maybe my fandom has, I'm just not built for this anymore. I hope I have some some lead some lead in my pencil to keep believing and still hoping, but I just don't know. I do know that sometimes we can outgrow spaces. I do know that. I do know that at times you and I can outgrow certain spaces. Our appetites change. Our thoughts about what we entertain and what we consume changes. Our palate physically changes. It is what it is. I just hope that you know we don't learn the truth too late. Milestone wasn't perfect, but it's ours. It's ours. So the minute we don't want something that's ours, yeah, game over. We are learning that lesson in real life and in real time is painful enough. When you stop wanting what's yours, the game is over. So if we're thinking that Milestone is not ours no more, if we're thinking that certain creators don't represent us, or certain artists don't represent us anymore, or that we should stop thinking about this one because this one here is better or just as good or whatever, or why can't they see that that I'm just as good or whatever? I don't know. Why can't they see that you're just as good? Maybe because you haven't arrived yet, or maybe perhaps you need to work a little bit harder. See, Dwayne McDuffie didn't just jump into a Milestone book and start writing comic books. He was writing comic books way before Milestone showed up. Him and Dennis Cowan had been writing and art and doing drawings and art long before Milestone showed up. Okay? They were seasoned by the time Milestone showed up. They were well into their craft. Some of y'all just got started. Just got started. But you got mas grandes to think that you are better than what's already been put before the people. Yeah. So you know what? I'm done preaching tonight. I don't even have a benediction for you tonight. I take it back. Yes, I do. I do have a benediction. The benediction comes in the book of John. 2 words. Jesus wept. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lowest and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. And until next time, I see y'all when I see you.